What's up guys? I'm going to show you how to meal prep most efficiently and effectively so you can spend less time in the kitchen and more time living the rest of your life. Now there's many reasons why you might want to meal prep, all the way from just saving some money during the week to losing some weight, counting macros, counting calories. I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to show you the tips and tricks I've learned over time and how this is easiest for me. No matter what your goals are, you should be able to take something away from this. So this is the meat of choice this week. This is top round steak. It's super lean. I like to go back and forth week to week between top round steak and chicken breast just to change things up. I do eat the same thing every week. So since this is such a lean cut, it needs slow cooked, either in a slow cooker, instant pot, or I really like the sous vide. So that's what I'm gonna do today and show you guys. So I'm gonna get this started back up. It's kind of loud, you'll probably be able to hear it. Sous vide circulates water, hot water, and you cook the meat in the hot water so it never gets hotter than the water around it. So it's super easy. Same premise as a slow cooker. You can put it in and leave it and come back later when it's done. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get this in, go build a baby crib actually, and then come back to do the rest of the meal. So I'm gonna have the steak in the sous vide for 3 hours. So it gives us plenty of time to go on, live the rest of our lives, and come back and meal prep, spend as little time in the kitchen as possible. So this is my seasoning of choice. It's Grill Mates Montreal steak seasoning. I love this for steaks. And then for chicken, I use the Grill Mates roasted garlic and herb seasoning. These do have some brown sugar and stuff in them. Some of this brand does, but I wouldn't worry about it calorie-wise. Some people say that you should worry about calories in this stuff, but you're not drinking the whole bottle, right? You're not down in the bottle. You're covering meat with the seasoning, and then you're not eating this whole thing all at once. This is spreading out over the whole week. So honestly, it's stupid to worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just make your meat taste as good as possible. All right, the meat's in now. Like I said, you can do this with a slow cooker, an Instant Pot, or any other way to slow cook meat, just because it's gonna be real tender. I really like the sous vide because the water is set to 135 degrees, so the meat's never gonna overcook over 135 degrees. It's never gonna get hotter. So the way this works is sous vide to 135 for 3 hours, and then I'm gonna sear it real quick while I'm making my rice, while I'm making my breakfast. So I'll go over all that with you guys in a few hours. All right, so successfully built the baby crib, and the meat has 1 hour and 7 minutes left. So I'm gonna go over real quick some of the meal prep tips. So the 2 different ways you can meal prep is you can make a ton of food and portion it out in containers for the whole week. These are the containers I bring my food in, but I don't wanna go through and portion out 5 different containers, weigh them all out because I weigh my food. If you don't weigh your food or if that doesn't bother you, that's totally an option. What I like to do is put my food in this. So rice can go in here, the meat will go in here. I know it doesn't look like it's gonna fit, but I'm gonna cut it all up and it'll fit in here. And then I need another container for my veggies as well. So that's called batch cooking. So you just cook it all and then I put it together the night before or the morning of and weigh it out. Saves me time on the weekends, and it's, I don't know, it's how I like to do it. So while the meat is still cooking, the rice doesn't need to go on yet and the green beans don't need to go in yet. So I'm gonna make my breakfast real quick and show you guys how I do that. All right, so this is my overnight oats recipe. I've been making this for a little over 3 months now. I'll put the recipe down in the description, but it's got oats, chocolate protein powder, chia seeds, Greek yogurt. I use vanilla Greek yogurt, and it's got maple syrup in it as well. Super good. Like I said, I'll put the recipe down in the description if you want it, but you can make it once on Sunday and then have it for the whole week. Never have to think about breakfast, just grab and go. All right, the oats are done. So these can just go in the fridge and the oats will soak up. You don't have to warm them up. You don't have to do anything with them. Just pull them out of the fridge and eat them. They'll stay good for about 5 or 6 days. After that, they start to taste a little weird. So I wouldn't make them for any farther out than 5 or 6 days. All right, so this is the most involved part of my meal prep, but it's really not even that involved. I've just got some water coming to a boil for my jasmine rice. And then I've got the oven preheating for my green beans. So all I'm gonna do, it's a little loud. All I'm gonna do is throw the rice in once this is boiling for 20 minutes, and then it just sits and simmers for 20 minutes, and the green beans just go in and bake until they're done. and the meat has 42 minutes left. So once I get all this on, still pretty hands off. I can go watch TV, go hang out with the dog, do other things, not have to be physically in the kitchen. All right, so one thing I love about the sous vide is that we actually ate dinner a little later than I thought. So I just left it in for a little longer because it didn't overcook. But now we're here, we're done. So green beans and rice are cooling off, and the steak here is sitting here. If you did a slow cooker or smoked it or something, you should be done at this point. But for sous vide, there's one last step, which is we have to sear these because they look kind of gross. But I'm gonna sear these, and then it's basically just putting everything in the containers and you're good to go. So that's as easy as it was. It's been like 3.5 hours at this point, but hands-on time has been less than 20 minutes. So pretty easy. Spent most of the day doing other things, building a crib, eating dinner, hanging out with family, not in the kitchen cooking. So that's the big thing. Little time in the kitchen, just gotta cook it, let it do its thing, and then pack it up and it's good to go. So I'm gonna sear these real quick and then let them cool, cut them up and pack everything up and show that to you guys. And then we'll be on our way. All right, so yeah, there we go. We've got the rice and steak here and the green beans here. That's enough food for the whole week. And I actually prepped out my meal for tomorrow for lunch, and then our breakfast is in the fridge. So our total time hands-on, about 30-40 minutes between lunch and making the overnight oats. Total cooking time was about 4 hours with the slow cooked meat. But as you can see, that really takes down the hands-on time. So even though the total cooking time was 4 hours, most of my day was spent doing other things, which is the goal, because nobody wants to be slaving over food in the kitchen for hours and hours on the weekend, having a meal prep, which is why I like batch cooking. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Hope you guys found it helpful. Like and subscribe if you guys want to see more fitness content.